Where's the Quarian?
Okay, I'll tell you.
Give me the location. Now.
Do you know the Muffin Man?
We don't shoot unarmed prisoners.
Did you bring it?
Where's the Shadow Broker? Where's Fist?
They'll be here. Where's the evidence?
No way. The deal's off. Fist set me up. I knew I couldn't trust him.
Are you okay?
I know how to look after myself. Not that I don't appreciate the help. Who are you?
My name's Shepard. I'm looking for evidence to prove Saren's a traitor.
Then I have a chance to repay you for saving my life. But not here. We need to go somewhere safe.
The ambassador's office. It's safe there. He'll want to see this anyway.
Who's this? A Quarian? What are you up to, Shepard?
Making your day, Ambassador. She has information linking Saren to the Geth.
Really? Maybe you better start at the beginning, Miss...
My name is Tali. Tali'Zorah Naraya.
We don't see many Quarians here. Why did you leave the Flotilla?
I was on my pilgrimage. My rite of passage into adulthood.
I've never heard of this before.
It is a tradition among my people. When we reach maturity, we leave the ships of our parents and our people behind. Alone, we search the stars, only returning to the flotilla once we have discovered something of value. In this way, we prove ourselves worthy of adulthood.
What kinds of things do you look for?
It could be resources like food or fuel, or some type of useful technology, or even knowledge that will make life easier on the flotilla. Through our pilgrimage, we prove that we will contribute to the community, rather than being a burden on our limited resources.
Tell us what you found.
During my travels, I began hearing reports of Geth. Since they drove my people into exile, the Geth have never ventured beyond the Veil. I was curious. I tracked a patrol of Geth to an uncharted world. I waited for one to become separated from its unit. Then I disabled it and removed its memory core.
I thought the Geth fried their memory cores when they died. Some kind of defense mechanism.
How did you manage to preserve the memory core?
My people created the Geth. If you're quick, careful, and lucky, small caches of data can sometimes be saved. Most of the core was wiped clean, but I salvaged something from its audio banks. Wait, there's more. Saren wasn't working alone.
I don't recognize that other voice, the one talking about Reapers.
Are they some kind of new alien species?
According to the memory core, the Reapers were a hyper-advanced machine race that existed 50,000 years ago. The Reapers hunted the Protheans to total extinction, and then they vanished. At least, that's what the Geth believe.
The vision on Eden Prime. I understand it now. I saw the Protheans being wiped out by the Reapers.
The Geth revere the Reapers as gods, the pinnacle of non-organic life. And they believe Saren knows how to bring the Reapers back.
What about her? The Quarian?
My name is Tali. You saw me in the alley, Commander. You know what I can do. Let me come with you.
I thought you were on your pilgrimage.
The pilgrimage proves we are willing to give of ourselves for the greater good. What does it say about me if I turn my back on this? Saren is a danger to the entire galaxy. My pilgrimage can wait.
I'll take all the help I can get.
Thanks. You won't regret this.
Bastard didn't even thank you.
Until I find Saren, I haven't done anything. Come on.
Right behind you, Shepard.
You Quarians messed up the whole galaxy when you let the Geth break free. Do your people ever talk about it?
Do the Krogan talk about starting a foolish war that resulted in the Turians sterilizing your people?
All the time. What's with the helmets, Tali? Are all Quarians shy? Or do you not believe in letting outsiders see your faces?
No, living in the clean environment of the Flotilla has weakened our immune systems. The environmental suits protect against diseases.
Naturally. Anything that isn't constantly challenged grows weak.
Clear.
How did you get in here? I didn't think there was any way past the barrier.
Any idea how we get out of this place?
I still cannot believe all this. Why would the Geth come after me? Do you think Benezia's involved?
Seren's looking for the conduit. You're a Prothean expert. He probably wants you to help him find it.
The conduit, but I don't know.
Joker, get the Normandy airborne and lock in on my signal. On the double, mister.
Aye, Commander. Secure and away. ETA 8 minutes.
He needs to move faster.
If I die in here, I'll kill him.
Your ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small. I'm starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
The Normandy's a prototype. Cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the Flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space. I have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on a vessel like this is a dream come true for me.
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the Geth.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work. Mostly. We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the Flotilla. Grow our own food, mine, and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the Flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births, though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials.
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts. It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins. What they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
How come the Council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. A million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
So, the Geth share brain power?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in the group, the smarter they are.
So there's some sort of group consciousness?
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input. Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious. But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm probably oversimplifying. The Geth are incredibly advanced and complex creations. All you need to know is that they get smarter when they gather in large numbers. As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose? As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
I don't see what's so bad about those questions.
The Geth were created to engage in mundane, repetitive, or dangerous manual labor. That's fine for machines, but it won't satisfy a sentient being for long. The Geth were showing signs of rudimentary self-awareness and independent thought. If the Geth were intelligent, then we were essentially using them as slaves. It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
You can't blame them for fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began. The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the Veil. Now we drift through space, exile searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
It's hard to feel sorry for you. Your ancestors tried to wipe out another species.
We made a mistake when we created the Geth in the first place, but we did not make a mistake when we went to war against them. If we had not acted, they would have wiped us out. They're a synthetic life form. They have no use for organics. None. Why do you think they cut themselves off from the rest of the galaxy? Why do you think they've killed every organic being who's ever tried to contact them?
They didn't kill Saren.
What does that tell you? The Geth are not innocent victims in all this. They're the enemy. They want to destroy us. Not just the Quarians. All organic life. That's why they've joined up with Saren. And that's why we have to stop him.
I want to know more about the Pilgrim.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet. But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the Flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet. This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when a gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
I can't believe they just send you off alone.
It's not like they just cast us out. Before we leave, we are given lessons in how to survive outside the flotilla, and given gifts to help us on our journey. We also receive implants to fight off sickness and disease. Generations of living in an isolated and highly controlled environment have left our immune systems weaker than most. By the time we leave the fleet, we are well equipped for the pilgrimage. This is a rite of passage for all Quarians. If it were dangerous, our numbers would suffer. Virtually every pilgrimage ends with a triumphant return and the ritual presentation of the gift to one of the fleet's captains.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
I should go.
See you later.
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian, Tali? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You got an eye for Tali, Commander.
Area secured. Clear. Clear. Perimeter clear. Kill them all! I owe you one.
Sergeant Sterling, secure their weapons.
Don't try it.
Has anyone unusual passed through here recently?
Unusual? And a sorry matriarch passed through a few days ago. Lady Benezia.
If Lady Benezia is here, it might be wise to bring Liara along. She knows her mother better than we do. From all I've heard, blizzards are quite common here. My people have dealt with the corporations on Noveria in the past. They pay well and they don't ask any questions.
I don't think you're supposed to be in here, Shepard.
You have me at a disadvantage, miss.
Oh, now you're gonna show some respect?
You're here off-duty breaking the law for bribe money. You expect us to feel bad for stopping you?
I finished the job, but an internal affairs investigator contacted me. She wants you to testify against Menelaus.
Now that you have my property, you want to dictate how I use it?
The board was already investigating Menelaus. They're concerned about the worm in their own fruit.
All right. It is obvious that I cannot dissuade you.
I'd say these are what the matriarch had in the crates.
Virtual intelligence user interface offline.
We'll need to get the reactors back online. I'm wearing an environmental suit, and I'm still freezing. Engaging target. That's the last of them. I smell trouble! Turn off the heat and hope the cold puts whatever you've unleashed to sleep. Nice. The appeal of winter wears thin very quickly.
What?
That's all for now.
Your mission ends here, Shepard.
I thought she seemed odd. All targets down. Look, those tanks? Acid. Strong enough to kill anything, no matter its biology. They wouldn't have installed that if they weren't afraid of the consequences of her getting loose.
They made a mistake. They let the Krogan go too far. This is a chance for us to atone. She has done nothing to us.
On my way! He dropped the data module!
Is there anything I can do for you?
I'm fine. I just need to try to think clearly. It's just a lingering pain from the last attack. I'll be fine.
I see no major injury, but something must be causing her pain. All targets there! That did it! The system is active. These people are brave, but the Geth are relentless. My people know this better than anyone.
We've got movement. Some kind of vehicle. Not one of the Geth.
They've got us on visual. We must be close.
Dealing with the Geth is more important.
It's dangerous work, but not for someone like you.
What is it about you that makes people assume we enjoy being in harm's way?
Are you saying Exogeny knew its people were getting infected?
It was deemed necessary to assess the true potential of Species 37.
That explains their strange behavior.
Your pilot should be warned.
Joker.
The Geth use these claws to anchor their ships to the sides of buildings.
Indelicate perhaps, but very efficient. How do we cut the power if it's coming from the ship?
It will be difficult. We can check the other claws for weaknesses, but the Geth are very thorough.
This structure seems to have significance for the Geth. Is it possible they set up this room to serve as a sacred temple of sorts?
The Geth blur the line between organic and synthetic life. It's natural to assume they seek understanding from a higher power. Same as before, we don't have the ordnance to blow this claw. Let's keep looking. This is interesting, Commander Shepard. A containment lab of some kind. Very good. The field barring the exit will be down. Now we can go deal with the Thorian creature. I hope that ship was full of those Geth bastards.
This place will be crawling with Geth in a minute. Keep together and we'll get out of here in one piece.
Alright, we just need to find this creature and determine what it... What is that?
That does not look like any plant I've ever seen. This may be problematic. Do you know what the conduit is? Or where it is?
No, I'm sorry.
Then whatever it is, we cannot let him have it.
If you've got questions about Jenna, meet me at C-Sec Academy.
That was odd. What was he trying to tell us?
I guess we'd better go find out.
Hold it. That's close enough, Army. You got my payment?
Do you have the X-Mods?
Show them the merchandise.
That looks right.
I could not help but notice that you are attracting some unfriendly stares, Tali.
Many think less of Quarians for traveling in the Flotilla and for creating the Geth. They see us as scavengers, little better than thieves.
That is an ignorant opinion. Quarian explorers have uncovered more mass relays than any other race.
I am glad that some still remember the contributions my people have made.
I believe we have found the signal's endpoint. It should be possible to identify the account to which credits are being funneled.
Probability of detection 100%. Initiating self-destruct protocol.
Or not.
Can't we resolve this peacefully?
How can you say that to this thing? You know it will turn on us. Oh, hello, Shepard.
Are you okay?
I don't know. Your ship is amazing, and your crew's been really great to me. Especially your chief engineer. But I just sort of feel out of place. The Normandy runs so smooth it feels like we're not even moving. And the engines are so quiet. How do you sleep at night?
The silence wakes you up?
Back on the Flotilla, the last thing you want to hear is silence. It means an engine's died or an air filter shut down. I guess you don't have to worry about that here. But old habits die hard. But it's more than just the silence. This ship feels so empty. It's like half the crew is missing. Back home, I couldn't wait to go on my pilgrimage. I couldn't wait to get away from the crowds. Now that I'm out here, I kind of miss them.
Sometimes we don't appreciate what we have until it's gone.
That's true. I'm starting to wonder if that's what the pilgrimage is really about. It's given me a whole new perspective on my people and our culture. You know, there's always a few who go on their pilgrimages and never return. I always assumed something bad happened to them, but maybe they just wanted a different life.
You do plan to return to the migrant fleet, right?
I could never abandon my people, Shepard. I will go back eventually, but we have to stop Saren first. Otherwise, I might not have a home to go back to.
I should go.
See you later. I'm right here. Careful, Shepard. I've got a bad feeling about this. Geth! It's a trap! Think we got him, Commander. Ready to move on your word, Shepard. The upcoming battle frightens me, but I know something has to stop. We've got access to base security. We can put the alarms from here, maybe even trigger alarms on the far side of the base. It'll clear the guards out for us, but they might be too much for the Solarian teams to handle.
Just disable the alarms. We can handle any guards inside.
I just need out.
Something's not right here, Shepard. These look docile. Their minds are gone.
Leave them. Let's get moving.
It's safest, but I would prefer they be put out of their misery. This place is an abomination. Saren's research must be destroyed.
I'm gonna blow this place to hell and gone. If you want to make it out alive, you better start running.
What? You can't. But I'll never. Oh!
I believe you enjoyed that, Shepard. Shepard, look over here. It's another beacon, like the one on Eden Prime. The Solarians are counting on us, Shepard. We can't let them down. I get the feeling something bad is about to happen. What is that? Some kind of VI interface? Cycle? What cycle? With all this exploration of Prothean culture, this must be like a survey for you, Liara.
Our travels now are somewhat different from my normal excavations. I would prefer lengthier studies and fewer explosions.
Yes, most of the technology I had hoped to bring back to the Flotilla has subsequently attempted to kill us.
I've spent my whole life fighting to get what I want.
No! God!
The descent angle's too steep. Saren found some way to open it. There must be some kind of security override somewhere in this complex. This place still has power. It must be running off its own generator. Unless he's already found it. Then we're just walking into a trap.
That is a chance we will have to take.
Hold on. Something's happening. Sounds like some kind of message, but I don't recognize the language.
The message is all broken up, but I recognize some of the words. It's a warning against the Reaper invasion.
What's it saying? Can you make out anything useful?
It said something about the conduit, but it's too degraded to help.
Please, try to remember why we're here. Saren, the conduit, the fate of the entire known galaxy?
I am sorry. I was swept up in the moment.
What are all those things on the wall? Some kind of containers?
They look like stasis pods. The Protheans probably tried to keep themselves alive through cryogenic freezing. Something must have gone wrong. This bunker became their tomb. The pods are dead as well as anyone inside.
All of them? There must be hundreds of those pods. What was Saren expecting to find here? There's nothing left but corpses. It's a trap! Saren must have set an ambush! Whatever we find, be cautious. If this were simply an automated trap, Saren would have triggered it as well. Looks like some kind of VI program. Pretty badly damaged. I bet they didn't tell the non-essential staff about this contingency. Wait, where's the Citadel's master control unit? I've never heard of anything like that.
All their culture, all their advanced technology, and the Protheans were taken in by the Reapers just as we were. They failed.
Just like my people. But they also gave us a chance to save ourselves. We must hurry.
There, the conduit. It's incredible.
We don't have time to admire the view. We have to get through that relay, and these Geth aren't gonna make it easy on us. Think we're good, Commander?
Vigil's data file worked. I've got control of all systems.
Quick! Open the station's arms. Maybe the fleet can take Sovereign down before he regains control of the station.
We caught that distress call, Commander. I'm sitting here in the Andurra sector with the entire Arcturus fleet. We can save the Ascension. Just unlock the relays around the Citadel and we'll send the cavalry in.
Are you sure about this, Shepard? Human casualties will be very high if you send your fleet in now.
This is bigger than humanity. Sovereign is a threat to every organic species in the galaxy.
True. That's why you can't waste reinforcements trying to save the Council. You must hold them back until the Citadel arms open up and the human fleet can go after Sovereign.
What's the order, Commander?
Opening the relays now, Joker. We need to save the Ascension, no matter what the cost.
I hope the Council appreciates this.
Make sure he's dead.
He's...
Take it easy. It's over. You're safe now. Where's the commander?